Morning, guys. Good morning. It is Monday. It is a beautiful, bright and shiny day. Uh, I was up really early today. I've been getting up early for the past couple days, actually. I'm talking like 4 o'clock before the alarm. And, I can only attribute that to just being excited and focused on just wanting to get up and just get to going to work and getting good work done. You know, and it's been pretty exciting lately. Even though it's funny, we've had some major disappointments because we didn't get the house. We didn't get the house. As you guys know, if you guys have been following me, I was waiting for the letter from Nissan. They approved the credit removal, but they said the mail was running slow, and we missed the deadline. The sellers had a deadline for us to close, and we still hadn't had got the letter to be approved for the loan, so we didn't get it. So we're really back to the drawing board, and that was a big hit, man. And yeah, we felt it. We felt it. My wife was upset. All of maybe a couple hours, and I was feeling like I failed, and it was just a lot of emotions. And the good, the great thing about the whole journey of sobriety is that you get to feel and experience everything in 3D color. And to me, I think that's what makes life worth living. It's the juice of life. And when you're struggling with active addiction, whatever your drug of choice may be, alcohol, crack, weed, dope, whatever, you have to understand that when you use, you're drying out the essence of your life. You're numbing it out, you're drying it out, you're taking all the color out of your life that makes it worth living. So that happened, and was feeling it. You know, but an amazing thing happens with me is when I get hit, I just start running harder, and so you guys know, for those who are on my Facebook or who have been following me on other social media platforms, my book came out, Apocalypse Reckoning 2.0, and it is an exciting, phenomenal mystery thriller um, revolving around addictions, and it's just a cool story, man. And I put it out there, and the first day it was number one in new books being released. When I was putting out the categories, I put science fiction, because there's an element in there, supernatural element, and I put an African American, because it's about an African American family that is going through just I'm not gonna tell you the plot, but they're going through something. And when I looked on there, one of my friends, Mike, said, yo, you're number one as far as best new books right now. And I'm like, what? And I looked on there, and mind you, my self-esteem was saying, well, maybe they just didn't have a category for African American science fiction. And I was like, yeah, that's probably what it was. I probably created a whole new category, and they had to just go ahead and slap me in there as number one. And so when I looked on at the stats, that wasn't the case at all. There are other books out there that are African American in science fiction, and I was number one for all of 24 hours. Now I'm number two, but still, that was really really cool and exciting. And I think I was 20 in the listing, and now I'm down to 38. But that's only because people are ordering the book, but they haven't read the book yet because they haven't even got it to even put a review out there for it. So I mean, it's all a process, but that stuff is just it's just exciting, just to really kind of work on that, because I wanted to write this book, to give. I mean, my whole journey is about really impacting people and their life to live their best life, and some people ask, well, you didn't, put it in the Christian category, and I said, well, the theme of my faith is throughout the book, but I kind of look at it like my life. I don't, how do I put this? I don't broadcast my title as a Christian. I prefer to allow my experience as a Christian shine, in my walk, in my talk, in what I do, because I just feel like that's a better witness, a better testimony. And so in the book, it's really a strong message on recovery, not just from drugs and alcohol, but from the insanity of life, from the insanity of fear, from the insanity of what do we do when things don't work out. So I'm really excited about the book, and now I'm working on a project to have it become an audio book. So now I have voice actors auditioning to narrate the book. So that's really really cool. And I'm listening to a couple different audio resumes right now. But the whole point of all this was really to talk about the truth of the grind. A lot of people talk about the grind, a lot of people hear about the grind, but the grind, I think, is probably the most misunderstood strategy for success, in my opinion. Because to me, the grind is I guess an example for me would be a farmer. Okay. I think that's probably the essence of a lot of things for me. A farmer is out there, he can't just go out there and just throw seeds on the soil. I mean, he can, but, chances of him actually, creating a harvest that can feed his family are slim to none. you know. So a farmer has to work the soil first. He's got to break up that soil. He's got to break it down and till it and make the soil as rich as possible to receive the seed. And if you think about our life, how many of us are like concrete, so resistant to becoming good soil for a seed to grow because we're stuck in doing things our way, the way we see it. And it's not working. And because here's the truth of the grind. If you're not producing fruit, you ain't grinding right. Period. If you aren't, we can talk about it. We can look like we're about it. I mean, so many of us will present like we got it going on, but if you go behind the curtain, you, it ain't nothing but a mess. It ain't nothing but chaos. We look good, but when you look at our bills, we ain't paid nothing for months. We're broke. And then we're going to try to give a testimony about our Christian lifestyle or our lifestyle being successful. We'll want to give advice, and we have no fruit to show to verify what we're saying. So the truth of the grind is, if you're truly grinding, you are producing. And I know that's stepping on some people's toes, and I'm sorry, but look, I love y'all, and these are messages that have been taught to me. You got to get real with yourself. You got to get real. You got to understand that your arrogance and your pride is preventing you from being good soil for a seed to grow. So, anyways, as the farmer grinds, he works the soil first, works the soil, and depending on how bad the soil is how much work he's got to do. And then he goes through and he starts planting seeds. And he don't just plant just a few, because not all the seeds are going to grow. He's got to do, if I need to feed my family, how much should I plant? If I want to reap a harvest, what am I doing? So when I look at farmers, they're up at the crack of dawn, working hard until they're done, and then they get up and do it again. They're consistent. So here, part two: are you consistent with your grind? I mean, some of us got our excuses. Have excuses. You can't, like with me, working out and losing weight. Not much. I just lost. I went weighed in last week. I lost 2 pounds, and I was just doing. I wasn't even working at my greatest potential as far as eating right. You know, and I still, because I was grinding, because I was still doing, as my old food coach would say, I was still above average as far as eating clean. I still lost, but I had to be consistent with, not my thing, for my physique. I have to cut down to eating one carb a day. I can have a cheat day, but it's down to one carb a day. One cup of rice, brown rice, one piece of bread, one a day. And for me, who is a professional donut eater, that's a killer. You know, that's a killer. So you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent with your grind. You got to be determined. And the determination comes in when things don't work the way you want them to. When we didn't get the house that we had been fighting for the past 3 months, do we quit? Do we pack up our toys and go home? Go back to the apartment and say, that's it? That's the way it is? Da 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 da. Or do we keep on grinding and working it? I mean, you know my answer. My family needs a home, not a 2-bedroom apartment. I know that. You know that. My God knows that. So we don't quit. We don't quit. When things happen, when things are disappointing, when things fail, when things break down, you get back up and you fix it and you keep on moving. And if you can't motivate yourself because you're just down, surround yourself with people who ain't gonna play with you. They're gonna tell you like it is, in love. It might not feel like love, but it is love. And they're gonna say, "Get up, stop crying, get your behind up, and let's go." You guys know I've been listening to David Goggins, and he's a big advocate. Imagine the brother will be cussing. Okay, I'm just letting you know. If you choose to listen to him, if you're too Christian to handle a few cuss words, don't do it. Don't do it. But his message is stop playing. Stop playing with yourself. Stop lying to yourself, and let's go. And the video I was listening to this morning. I mean, he was just I was just cracking up because he's just so serious and intense. And he was like, "I'm back, MFers. I'm back. I don't give a F what people think. I'm out here doing what I need to do." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, Dave. I hear you. I hear you." But he's about stripping away the excuses. And so many of us have gotten so soft with ourselves that we've made our excuses our reality. My back hurts. My stomach hurts. My wife don't love me enough. My boss don't appreciate me. I don't got I don't whatever. I can't. I don't have a vehicle. I don't have the what. Walk. If you, the truth of the grind is that if you consistently grind, I'm talking like 90 to 120% consistently, you will make amazing changes in 30 days. Period. There's no other way around it. The problem is that we're not consistent. And I don't know if it's that we don't believe in ourselves or we don't want to believe in giving 120% on a consistent basis. But that's why we are where we are. So while I'm in this holding pattern for a house and I'm working on that and I'm working on programs with my clients and I'm working on the next book after this book and I'm working on the audio version and I'm working on it going to Kindle and doing some animation to go with the Kindle version of the book. So you hear what I'm saying? It was, well, how do you do all that? I said, I'm excited. I'm excited because to me, I've unlocked the key. You know that I here. This is what I told my friend Jakai. I said, look, I can't outwork God. I can't. So whatever I do to 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 show people the God in me, how great God is through me, there's no way He's going to let me outwork Him. There's no way. So that's the mission. That's the mission. That's the mission. That's the truth of the grind. The question is, are you going to accept that or not? So I love you guys. Sorry this was a little long. I was a little excited. If you're looking for my book, it's on Amazon.com. Look for Apocalypse Reckoning 2.0. It's in books. Look for books created within the past 30 days, and you will find it by William Singleton. All right. Love you guys. Peace.